Wait a minute!
Several months later.
Hey guys, it's me Enartee, and we're back for another Minecraft video. I actually have a pretty good project idea in mind for this episode, and, you know, if you couldn't guess, it involves these little piece of shits.
Do a barrel roll!
My skin drips now. It's pretty amazing, not gonna lie. Yeah, so I haven't really played on my world since that last video I uploaded on my channel, and I miss it. You know, I put so much work into it, and I just stopped to play on a fucking new single-player world that I barely get to play on. And, you know, I kind of want to show you guys that I actually build on here, you know, in survival, not fucking creative. I literally had one guy tell me I cheated, and I don't cheat. I don't fucking cheat, okay? Now, to clarify, I have another Minecraft Let's Play going on. We're still gonna do that. We're just gonna use this world for large-scale projects like this bee farm we're about to make. We're gonna go ahead and start grinding out some resources for this build. We mainly need a bunch of yellow concrete and glass, which shouldn't be that hard to get. So yeah, we pretty much got everything we need for this project. All we have to do is terraform. As you can see, we're actually in a flat terrain area. I actually had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of cleared a bunch of stuff out. Our next step is to create a hill, which is where we're going to put our bee farm. It was a little difficult to make it look good because it's in the middle of a super flat area, but the plan is to create more hills after this project. Now the next couple of clips are actually just a huge montage of me building, and I just skimmed through a bunch of the footage. I made this house in creative, so I had to go back and forth to view how I actually created it. So most of the footage was me placing one block and then standing there for like 40 seconds, kind of like this example I'm about to show. We're pretty much done with the build now, but before I start touring the house, there's still one more thing I need to do, and it involves this bee. Alright, so we're officially done making the house now. Now it's time to tour it. There's not much. I mean, it's just a little cozy house. The bee farm is in the back, but there's just a bunch of details. We're gonna start with the outside, though. We got a couple decorations, you know, using these nests. Nothing really too big. I didn't have any time to like take off these torches or whatever. This is actually one of my favorite builds that I've made so far. It looks really cool and captures the whole granny theme. So here is the actual bee farm. We're supposed to be producing a lot of honeycombs per hour. We originally had one right there, and then I just finally tore that out, and now I'm using a normal one. I think you guys are familiar on how it works. You get the shears, and then boom. Here, hold on. I'll go ahead and like demonstrate it for you guys if you're like oblivious towards how it works. Yeah, so all you have to do is just right click and then boom, you got some honey. Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty impressive. I know it's not much, but it will get us through the day. Because now our supply of honeycombs is two additional ones. Okay, so I tried making each face have some unique feature to it. Not this one, but here, like, you know, I got the grave. So the grandma has its own grave here. I don't know what all these buttons are for. Kind of use them as pebbles. Anyway, this is the grandma. Pretty funny, right? I know. I'm a comedic genius. And now, here is our actual interior tour. It's very cozy, actually. We got Granny's story. This is a very popular place in Enartee world. Yeah, we got a fridge here. We got a sink. Here's our cats. Pretty cool. Here's a toaster. Here's NRB. As you can tell, I'm not really good at touring. Here are all my cats. I want to breed them. I wonder if they can. No, they can't. Yeah, there's Grandma. That's looking pretty dope, if you know what I mean. Got a bunch of stuff here. Oh, we can. I don't know if this is safe to show on YouTube, but have sex. They didn't have sex. What? Oh, okay. There we go. But yeah, that concludes our tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, we got a clock too. Okay, on to the outro. I'm just kidding. I 100% pranked you there, and hey, this is premiering for a reason. Unless you're not one of my 78 subscribers and you're watching this after the premiere, then you are smart enough to look at the time and realize it's not over. But you thought it was over. It's not over, actually. It's been pretty underwhelming, but believe it or not, that wasn't the bee farm. This is. So when I started this project, the actual bee farm was the first thing I made, and I didn't mean for this project to be as big as it was. Near the entrance, I found this full diamond armor skeleton and decided to keep him, and I used current events to name him. But here's the bee farm. This ship provides the most honeycomb / honey imaginable. I think it's a little bit too overkill. If you're interested in the redstone, these are my designs. Now, someone else may have made something similar to these because bee farms are actually super simple to make. This one takes advantage of the honey levels, which once it reaches level 5, it activates the dispenser through a redstone signal up above. Also, the chests up here have glass bottles, just mass storage of them, and the same design is repeated twice up above. The honeycomb farm is a bit different. It's powered by observers. Basically, the observer triggers the dispenser with shears, and then honeycombs are sucked up underneath. Now, you can make the argument that I should have made this an N. Well, we actually have an overfill, which I wasn't bothered to fix because we already have a pretty substantial amount of honeycomb blocks. Here's a redstone for the elevators. They're pretty messy. I'll probably end up simplifying it. That's pretty much all to show here. Let's go ahead and go back to the intersection. After I finished the actual bee farm, I went ahead and made this room. There's a bunch of minor details, so I'm going to try to show everything I can, but this was a pretty cool room to make. Next up is the kitchen. This is the first kitchen that I've actually went full out on. Like, I've made a couple other kitchens, but they don't come close to this. And as you can see, we got Chef NRB down here with us. He doesn't really wash his hands, though. He seems to have some bee cum juice on him. Here are a couple other minor details. We got a stove, and then we got a barrel full of fish and honeycombs. Then we got another sink and refrigerator. We also have a closet here with a bunch of our ingredients. Shit, look, I can explain. I have absolutely no idea how they got in there. Just get in the fucking closet, please. Just keep on going. Yeah, right direction. Let's go. Come on. No? Okay. Get in the closet. Come on. Anyway, if you're wondering what the purpose of this room is, other than having an overly detailed kitchen, you're actually about to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the sex dungeon. You can also tell that I'm lacking the experience on what a bee sex dungeon is. On the walls, I tried making honeycomb-shaped windows where the bees are imprisoned. For the entrance, I made a cute-looking bee, but it's also flipping me off, so that kind of reduces the cuteness, I guess. But here's the beginning of the actual dungeon. I tried making these faces to resemble some weird cult, but I'm not really sure what I was trying to do. As we go down here, I made a little bedroom with cock and ball torture mechanisms. I don't know how the bees are supposed to use it, but it still looks pretty cool. Also, I don't know what the fuck is going on with my skin, because now I have fat arms and it's really bugging me. There's one more room here, which leads to a secret entrance, and as you can see, some of the bees are being encased in these little buildings. I don't really know what else to say about it. Now, here is the breeding grounds for the bees. All of them are inside their hives right now, but how I determine if there are bees inside them is whether or not there's honey coming out of the hives. I'm going to demonstrate how I made it easy for myself to bring bees into my bee farm, but before we do that, I'm going to have to show you explicit bee sex, and I know you like that. You definitely like that, don't you? Basically, once you finish breeding, you can place hives above the already pre-existing hives. Obviously, you couldn't be able to harvest them, but once honey starts developing inside it, there's a bee occupying the hive. So then you can pretty much wait until they go back inside their hives, and then you can kidnap them. Also, it's possible to harvest these too. There's campfires underneath all of these hives. Well, that was pretty much it for this area. I'm going to go back and show you the exit. Also, I promise I'm not this fucked up. Look, they are having fun. You can't disagree with that. Anyways, this ladder leads us back above. It's actually under this bed you saw a couple minutes ago. But now it's time to go back to the intersection because I got one more thing to show you guys. And personally, I think this is the coolest thing about this bee farm. Also, to close this door, all you have to do is put the honeycomb back into the barrel. So this was actually one of the last things I made, and I was already losing inspiration to work on this, so it's not as impressive as the last room, but the theme with this room is energy storage. There's also a honey pipe here, kind of hinting that my honey is getting stored somewhere, but that's the thing, where is it getting stored? It's actually going to be hidden behind this door. I tried making it super obvious if you couldn't tell. But here lies one of the pointless and coolest things I've done in this game. I present to you the void. I ended up digging this hole, and I'll put the actual dimensions on the screen, but it took a long ass time, I'll tell you that. The thing is, I didn't really know what to put in here, but for some reason I had too much fun making this fucked up bee, so I just went with it. Inside we have a storage room, so let's go check that out. So now that I went back through this, I feel like it's kind of unfinished, and I'll probably end up making cooler things inside here, but probably for another day. The only priority I was trying to achieve is to make a storage room for my honey, which we have a lot of. This is all for me just working in the area, so I haven't even AFK'd at the bee farm yet. In all honesty, I have no idea what I'm going to do with all the honey, so if you have any suggestions, I'll do it. Here's a little container where the honey's stored, because it's right behind the stinger, so that's pretty much bee anatomy right there. But if we go behind here, it loops, and it's pretty underwhelming actually, so it needs more work, but I'm kind of done working on this for a while, because I've been working on this non-stop for the last month, but it's still been a super fun project. Okay, so we're done touring this part of the bee farm, and I got one more thing to show you. Also, this bee is probably the most beautiful thing you'll ever see in your life. The last thing I'm going to show you is significantly smaller than everything else. It's my exit. I was actually going to try to make a functional elevator, but I went with a water elevator because it just worked better. And I hope you guys like this miniature bee face I made. Once we get to the top of the elevator, we have a chill zone, which is here just for decoration. And once you press this button, it opens the door, which leads you to the way out. And this is actually the end of the tour. So now all I have to do is dramatically look at the sunset and fade out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a like. Now, for the intro, I had an idea. I thought it would be cool to show early development of the whole area, just in little clips, because I don't want to make this outro too long. But yeah, I want to apologize for the wait. I actually got busy with schoolwork, and then school got canceled, and then I just went off on this project. The reason I decided not to show everything I did was because it was going to get boring really quick. Plus, for this world, I like the whole touring aspect of it, because the first video I uploaded on this world was a world tour, so that's the theme of this series. Then we'll use the other Let's Play for actual survival stuff. Also, part of the reason I decided to show my progress here was because I'm worried that people are going to think I'm cheating, but I'm not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.